Hey, everybody, I'm Steve Owens, one of the tournament directors with the Georgia Bass Nation Kayak Series. This is our 2025 championship presented by Real Heroes. We're on Lake Lanier this weekend. We've had 2 days of phenomenal fishing. We're hosted out of Hammond's Fishing Center here in Cumming, Georgia. If you haven't made it down here, myself, I've hosted. Hey, Billy, how you doing, brother? This is our boy right here. Billy tries to show up at everything that he can.
I try to.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. Jordan said to tell you guys hello. We appreciate y'all coming. So they make it to the Alatoona tournament every year that we have it. Next year, we're in March at the Etowah on the mill again. So, we're here at Hammond's. If you hadn't made it here to Cumming, Georgia, trafficy, it's pretty difficult, but it's great. Everything they have here is top shelf, lodging facilities. Hammond's Fishing is arguably one of the most fulfilled tackle shops you'll see in the whole country. I get to travel a lot, and this is right here with the hookup tackle in Arizona. I mean, everything that Jason and they all bring in is just pretty phenomenal. So this weekend, what you're fishing for, other than the payout, is the top 10% from this field will make it to the Bassmaster Kayak Series next year on a conjoined event of Lake Chickamauga and Nickajack. So you're going to be able to fish either lake or both lakes that you want to. If you're unfamiliar with those bodies of water, those are historically grass fishing lakes. With the advent of forward-facing sonar and stuff like that, it allows you to get into the ditches that time of year to do what you need to do. And if you don't have that, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be able to throw your buzz bait, your frog, your rattle trap, your jerk bait, your Cinco, your wacky rig. You're going to be able to find something on those two bodies of water to suit your fishing style. The reason that we decided to do both lakes is they're both the Tennessee River system. But Lake Chickamauga is drawn down. It's at Winter Pool. So a lot of the ramps that you get to, you have to drag across dirt to get to the water. It shrinks that lake down quite a bit. And although, Chickamauga is where the dinosaurs live, Nickajack gives you another option as well. It's kind of like Guntersville, where the water doesn't drop drastically like Chickamauga does. And so that leads me to, we had some confusion this week with about 4 anglers. I give you all permission. When you reach a launch and there's dirt between you and the main water, you're allowed to drag through that dirt to get to the main water as long as you can navigate up and down river, downstream. And so those anglers took for granted that was meaning that you could drag, etc. And so there was 2 anglers that actually caught fish in that instance. And so what I chose to do along with our board of committee was we took so one angler had a fish caught at 11:35 where he had drug over a shoal. We shut his day down. So at 11:35, his day was over. And so that was a confusion, something maybe I didn't articulate or communicate the best way. But the main thing is that you anglers have to read. But the main thing is that video. We don't do a mandatory check-in by design. It's so that you don't have to drive all the way over here and go back over there to your home. So the YouTube video that I put out to you in your email, along with the Bassmaster Kayak Series, it's imperative that you listen to that because that's the information that you need. Very easily, those decisions could go another way. In that type of instance, there was not a cheating infraction. It was an infraction. If there was an instance where you fished X amount of time past lines out that was communicated, then you're going to be disqualified from day one altogether. So it can be very costly. It's a 15-minute video. I like to think I'm pretty to look at, but either way, just watch that little bit of a video. So we're going to move on to the awards and things. I just want to say thank you. I was watching today, as we're judging as the day was closing in, and some people had ran off to an extent with the event, but 2nd through 8th place was just nonstop. Upgrade, 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 upgrade. It's a testament to what you all do in this series in our state. In the Southeast, we're known as arguably the Mecca of kayak fishing. And that's because of the men and women that fish it. Georgia, historically, we've had some rough patches. We really have. We felt like with Georgia Bass, it had kind of righted the ship. We don't have a lot of grassroots left, but we need that grassroots to support everything across fishing, because not everyone's comfortable fishing against all of you and the rigs that you have. But I will say this, there's some toxicity that has happened recently. And I'll just say this, if you're that person that thinks that you want to point out things, then you need to make certain that you know what you're talking about. Because just because you AI something or you Google something doesn't mean that you're correct. Okay. We have a specific set of rules. We have a specific set of integrity. We have some boundaries that we go by, and we don't cover up anything, and we don't put up with no bullshit. If you need to be penalized, you get penalized, plain and simple. There's a lot of good kayak clubs in the state of Georgia that no longer exist because someone that likes to spread rat poison got in those clubs, and now they're no longer here, and we all suffer for that. So I'm speaking to you. If you have a question of anything, you've got my number. If you have something that you need to talk about, then you need to check yourself. You need to check your own intelligence level. You need to check your own integrity level, because most of the time when these kind of things come up, it's because someone wants to be arrogant. Someone has a gripe because of him, and they just want to be petty. We don't put up with that crap here. That's why we got a successful series. So if you think that you want to do some things like that, we ain't putting up with it. Plain and simple. These anglers will vet it just like they did this weekend. We had 3 instances where anglers reported certain things, and every one of them were vetted, and they were just mishap infractions. No cheating infractions, just like a cracked mouth on accident. So that's where we're at with that. I'm going to say it, be done with it, but I'm just telling you, you need to check yourself, because we're not doing it. We're just not going to do it. So, all right, now we're going to get to what we're doing here this weekend. We are presented by Real Heroes and Purple Heart Homes. You all raised $1,000 for our men and women that service our country. What Purple Heart Homes and Real Heroes does is they go to certain communities, and they can take so much of your dollars and use it like you wouldn't believe. So I've seen them rebuild homes for veterans in need. They've literally built tiny homes for veterans in need. So you all raised $1,000 on top of your entry fees for that cause. We got Carl Black Chevrolet. They're our Angler of the Year sponsor here. Our dealership is based out of Kennesaw. We've got Dugout Bait and Tackle. You see all of our sponsors behind us. You know, we got Guardian Angel lights that goes to our Angler of the Year winner in second place, or they get to choose from some Hobie eyewear. So we'll let them choose through that. We've got Lodge Skillet, Lodge Cast Iron. We've got Night Eyes, Yamamoto. We got Dobbins. We got Native Watercraft. We're going to donate a really good Falcon 11 paddlecraft today. We've got Newport vessels with a 180 Pro. And you see other ones here. And some of these, like let's just say Tourney X, for instance, and Precision Hardwood, which is my son's flooring company, they're the ones that pony up the money to pay for those really nice catch trophies, the checks that we have. We pay an off-site judge for most all tournaments, and we do that for integrity reasons. So really grateful for all of them that do that and step up. So we'll go ahead and get into the money winners, and each of you that cashes a check, please don't run off. I'm going to handle the raffle, and then I need to get some pictures of you in front of this backdrop. So please don't run off. So, and we've got a few backdated checks that we're going to give out. And so we're going to go ahead and get into Big Bass. So this year, our Big Bass sponsor was Sniper Marine. And this weekend, we had multiple 20-inch bass. Some of them were spotted bass. Now, 20-inch spotted bass is a beast. But we had this weekend, Benjamin Vang with a 21-incher takes home $255. Ben, we'll let you talk about that fish that you caught in particular. What'd you catch it on and things like that?
Okay. Yeah, I caught it on a weightless fluke. So I was in this cove. They were kind of schooling everywhere. Trying to locate them was kind of hard. So I was just kind of panning around with my scope. And then as I was doing that, they surfaced. So I knew that, you know, once they surface, you have like maybe 10 seconds to get on them. So I fired it right in there, perfect cast, jerked it twice, and held it. I set the hook. I fought him for like 30 seconds, got him in, netted him. I was like, oh, I was so pumped. I was like, dude, this is probably big fish because I knew it was big, but I didn't know it was that big. Yeah.
So how long does 30 seconds feel like when you fight a big fish?
Like an hour.
Yeah.
It was like, and plus the wind was moving too. So I was like, please just let me get this fish in.
Yeah. Well, man, I appreciate you coming, and you know, we've got a couple of hardwares that caught their way up to you and everything. But you got anybody you want to thank for this weekend?
I want to thank my wife. She's actually outside waiting for me. So you know, without her, I can't do what I do.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. Well, don't run off if you want to raffle. We got raffles going here pretty soon. But if you need to catch on, we understand.
Oh, no worries.
Thank you, Benjamin.
I'll hang around.
Appreciate you. All right, I'm going to call up the top 10. We pay 5 places in this event, and 5 anglers will make it to the Bassmaster Kayak Series, as I mentioned earlier. In 10th place with 168 inches is Nick Jones. Did Nick make it in? Come on in, Nick. We'll let you have your little bit of shine, buddy. We appreciate you making it, Nick. You got to fish quite a bit this year, so let me just talk about this weekend. You had 22 overall fish uploaded. What did it take to get 22 fish?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. I probably caught over 60 fish.
Wow.
I just couldn't find size. And most of the big fish was actually on a jerk bait in about 30 feet of water that was breaking top. That was the only place I could even find anything big. Besides, I got a 19, but that was on a drop shot, and that was under a log that I didn't even see. I was fixing to just reel it up, and they just grabbed it. Other than that, everything was just drop shot.
Every time I throw top water, it's a big striper.
I got lucky because everything I seen, as soon as they would come up top, they were all spots.
Yeah.
I thought they were stripers, but they were all spots because the first few I passed on until I caught one. Then I started just persistently throwing more.
Is there something that gives away, if you don't mind sharing, that gives away that it's a spot or a stripe or just a junk fish or
just mainly, most of them were just independent.
Yeah.
You just see one. And most of the time when I seen stripers, they were in schools. There were more than just one, but most of the spots were just one chasing bait.
Yeah. Did you hook in any big striper?
No.
Yeah.
No. First fish was a catfish this morning, so I figured today was going to suck.
All right. Man, you got anybody you want to thank for making it out this week?
I just want to thank my fiance for allowing me to do this and be here because she had her kids all week, so she's been there by herself, and just thank God for letting me be here, period.
Yeah. Well, man, we appreciate you, Nick. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Now go ahead. Yeah. All right. In 9th place with 172 inches, Richard Carbone. Richard, you got on them. You had a little flurry there, but every time you were culling, it was just like a quarter inch. So what did you catch them on this week to get you where you're at?
Caught every last fish, just drop shot and brush piles, and I found some real shallow ledges in like 12 to 15 feet of water, and they be sitting on the big ones, but most of the smaller ones I caught, brush piles.
Couldn't get the big ones, wouldn't bite off them brush piles?
No, I've been fishing the same area for about the last 5 weeks. So I marked a whole bunch of brush piles, and I just went through checking each one of them in a rotation, and so I just couldn't get the big ones fired today. Got them yesterday, but just couldn't get them fired today.
Yeah, again, 22 fish, it's nothing to sneeze at. You putting in that kind of work, 5 weeks out here doing what you do, we appreciate that kind of commitment to the trail series, and it fuels us to do more every year that we can. So we appreciate you coming out. You got anybody you want to give thanks to for coming here?
Just my mom, always supporting me, checking on me through the day, tell me if I'm having a bad day, just keep it up. I'm gonna get that next one I need. Just didn't get it today.
That's it, man. We appreciate you. Thank you. Good to see you. All right, in 8th place with 174.5, our Carl Black of Kennesaw, Georgia, Angler of the Year, Joseph Gayton, with 174.5. He gets that first trophy. The big trophy in the front. So Joseph gets that pretty nice trophy. It's his second one, and he gets $1,000 cash. So, well, you could talk about the event, and you could talk about your season and how you got all the identifier codes right this year.
I did get the identifier codes right this year. It was a decent season. It wasn't the best. Had some mishaps, but you know what? It worked out. I'm happy. glad I could represent the dugout and come out on top again. I was pretty stressed out through most of it. But the first place finish just helped a lot. So,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. This week, I didn't get to pre-fish at all. I ended up working and just went in blind with whatever information my buddies had and fished the hooch on the lower end there and just squeaked out a limit somehow on day one. I caught them pretty good all day, but ended up with a decent bag. And today I went somewhere else. Wrong choice. Caught 5 fish, I think, maybe 6, and all in a span pretty quick there. I had to catch them deep, down in the timber on the bottom, 70 foot of water, which was not fun, not in the wind, but we made it happen.
Sheesh. Man, we appreciate you coming out as always. When you all show up every weekend and week out, it brings the competitiveness. With all due respect to everyone, anyone can win an event every event. I mean, they're all one-day tournaments, so it's just a shootout, run and gun. But you know, for you, as you mentioned, you don't have to win first place every time. Our Bassmaster Kayak Series champion or Angler of the Year, Abby Abendanza, I don't think when he had a 4th place finish, but I mean, you know, the year before that, Russ Snyder's didn't have above an 8th place finish. But I mean, it's just that kind of consistency. So we appreciate you coming out, Joe. Appreciate
it.
Thank you. All right, in 7th place with 175¼ inches, Kendon Townsell. Kendon, we appreciate you coming out, man. We got, first off, you got anybody you want to thank for helping you get out here this week?
I got to thank my family, my job also for letting me do all the practicing that I do, and
jobs
thank my
getting away.
sponsorships too. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
My sponsors that also help me out and pay for some of this stuff too. So thank you guys. Yeah. New Canoe and Railblazer.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, you had 174¾ You had an 89 and 85¾
Yeah.
Were you in the same area doing the same thing, or did you have to move to find day 2 fish?
So I did have to move to find day 2 fish, but the fire sale was pretty much yesterday. So I burned down the house, and I thought I'd be able to do the same today, but they were all gone. So I had to come up with a second strategy, and I found most of my fish up on some points, some wind-blown points, and got on them with the jerkbait.
Were they shallower than yesterday?
Much shallow. Yeah. They were pretty much pinning up bait right on some points with some little shallow coves.
Yeah.
Yeah, shallow pockets.
Because a lot of people kind of wondered, yesterday was pretty good weather, and then today it was going to turn off bad.
Yeah.
So, you know, they say when it gets cloudy, you're supposed to go chasing, and when it's sunny, find where they're hugged up at, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I haven't had a jerkbait fish in quite some time out here on Lanier, and today was crazy with the jerkbait, but for practice in the last 2 days, I've caught like over 60 fish on top water. So top water was my main thing.
dang. That's when you want to thank all these people up here talking about catching 30 fish, 40 fish, 60 fish. Golly, I can't even catch that many crappie, you know? So, yeah, that's great. Well, we appreciate you coming. Hope to see you more next year. You did pretty good on Notley. So, we thank you for coming out, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, in 6th place with 175¼ Louis Delgado. All right, Louis, you know, as we talked about, you know, we had a mishap on some understanding, and so we chose to initiate the penalty, and that cost you about 5 inches, which, you know, quite honestly is probably 2nd place. I mean, it sucks, but I mean, that's just how we navigate the things that we do. But either way, you still caught some amazing fish. So what did it take to get it done this weekend for you?
I just covered a lot of water. I always power fish on the river. I'm never going to slow down. So I just chatterbait, spinnerbait, and that was literally it. Maybe a trick shad here and there, and just running and gunning and fishing as clean as I possibly can with a 30-minute timer and a 10-minute timer of rotating baits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
So
was
like you literally set a timer or mentally?
no. I set a literal timer on
Yeah.
my phone.
I did the same thing when we first started fishing because I worked night shift all the time. And so I would be getting off in the morning time when we'd fish and I'd be like tunnel vision.
Yeah.
So I would set a timer on my phone. That's amazing. You're the only person I've ever heard say that other than me on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, after the gut punch on day one, on day two, what did you do after that?
Day one, I went to the Hooch. Day two, I went to Chestatee. At this point, I feel pretty confident about finding decent size on, our rivers here. So I ran up there and caught largemouth all day, surprisingly, and I'd say about 3 to 4 inches of water all day.
Yeah.
In the deepest, backest part of the laydowns where the roots come up, and there's like trash piles of leaves.
Yeah.
I've caught most of my big fish slow rolling a spinnerbait through there, a Nichols pulsator.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, man. You got anybody
Yeah.
you want to give thanks to for this week?
Yeah. Shout out to my wife for letting me do this all the time. She's incredible. And thanks for calling me yesterday and handling that well. That was, my bad, guys. I apologize for that. That's my responsibility. And, got to do better on that. And excited for next year. So, yeah.
All right. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right. In fifth place, taking the first Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship spot on Lake Chickamauga and Nickajack with 178 and a quarter in fifth place, taking home $325, Jeremy Meadows. All right, Jeremy, we want to let you talk about your practice and then how you caught them today.
Practice, I think I got up here like one weekend, and then I was up here on Thursday and Friday. Hit 2 different spots. I found on Thursday, I found a spot that held some bigger fish, but that was the only thing I found. So I didn't want to, hedge my whole bet on that. So I ended up fishing both days where I practiced on Friday. There was some big fish in the area, but they were kind of hard to come by, and everything was just kind of random. So I didn't feel 100% confident in it working out for me day 2, but we just kind of persevered and stayed after today. Today I caught my 4th fish at 10 after 9, and I didn't catch my 5th fish until I think 1:38 or something like that. So it was pretty frustrating out there, and then dealing with the wind and the waves and stuff. My nose would dip down in a wave, and then my prop of my Newport would come out and cavitate some, and it was just battling it all day. But it worked out, I guess, and I was able to make one last big coal and kind of jump up here a little bit into 5th place.
Yeah, I envisioned you doing your little bulldog chant when you got that fish when you got in there. Yeah. Yeah.
I was pumped up.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate you. Thank you, Jeremy. All right, in 4th place by 1/4 of an inch, 178.5 inches, taking home $425, Eric Hawks. Yeah. All right, Eric, we appreciate you coming out. You were an AOI competitor all year long. You, Josh Choi, Gayton, Tom, Jeremy, Louie, and Clay. We got a bunch of people. We're just always there all season long. And it seemed like the longer the season went on, the stronger you got in some of your events. So what did it take for you to get up here today, this weekend?
Yeah, it's been a great season. So I did practice a little bit, come up here a couple Saturdays before this weekend, and then come down here, I think, practice Thursday, Friday. Pretty much practice complete opposite. I'd practice shallow one day, I'd practice deep the next. With Queen City being down here last week, it was really tough. I really thought more of the shallow bite might play. Also found some turnover water last week, so I really didn't know, what I was going to do. And I think the end of the day, Friday, I'd switched ramps and I came back to this area that I'd found a bunch of bait in the previous Saturday, and they were still in there. So I just rolled the dice, went there yesterday, and it was fast and furious at the very beginning of the day. Didn't expect that, and caught a whole ton of fish yesterday. A lot better than any of my practice days. Just sort of climbed my way up to, I think, 91 inches yesterday. Had a couple big ones in brush piles late in the day that really helped me. And then today, it was just a grinder out there. The wind got up. The area that I've been catching them in yesterday morning, I went there this morning. The bait was in there. The stropper were in there. There was a few bass in there, but it wasn't like it had been. And I sort of had to dip and go do something completely different towards the end of the day. Ran new areas and found a few roamers late in the day that really helped me, and pulled my way up. So.
Yeah. So what did you throw in those brush piles?
Anything from a shaky head to a minnow to a jerk bait, top water that come up on top a little bit. Just kind of depending how they was set up in the brush. Each pile was a little bit different. There was a lot of small fish in the piles, and you could usually see a few bigger blobs down there. So I was just trying to get my bait to some of them fish before the rascals would get to them first.
Yeah, or rats. All right.
Yeah.
All right, man. We appreciate you coming out, man. We thank you so much for traveling this year.
Appreciate it.
And being in contention. Thank you. All right, in third place with 179.25 inches, taking home $525, Josh Choi. So Josh had a pretty good day yesterday. I mean, any day you get 87 inches of spots is good. But today you had the third largest limit.
I had a large one.
You did. Yeah, I saw that. I was just like, yeah. And so, yeah. And so when we get those, we always check where they're caught and everything. I saw that. I was like, whoa, here it comes. Yeah. And there were quite a few good largemouth caught late in the day and submitted. So you had 92.5 today. So what got that big stringer?
Changing locations. The spot that we put in yesterday, me and Alex, I caught so many striper in that area. The day before or 2 days before, had a pretty good bag without trying too hard. So their big fish were there, but striper after striper after striper and on the bait balls. And today we kind of switched things up, kind of just swung for the fences. We figured we'd go up the river, and there were spinner baits, chatter baits. We got some good bites that way during practice. And first 2 hours of the day had two small fish on a chatter bait, on a spinner bait and a buzz bait. And then I was like, well, let me just go look around and start scoping. And after that, just caught everything on a jigging minnow, bait balls in 30, 40, 50 feet of water. So fish that I found, the bigger ones were deep. One of the fish that I caught, I think, was a 19-inch spot. It just happened to be up at the surface, and I just threw that minnow at it, and he ate it. So one of those kind of random fish that I really needed today. So
yeah, we appreciate you, Josh. Appreciate you coming out. Don't run off. We got to get pictures of everybody in a minute, and y'all have a second and third place Angler of the Year award to choose between you and Eric Hawks. All right, in second place with 180.25 inches, taking home $1,000, Chris Willis. All right, Chris, we appreciate you, man. You had 89.5 yesterday and 90.75 today. What did it take to get those fish?
I think yesterday, just trying to get them on a jig and brush up in like shallow coves. Trying to find a largemouth this morning. Couldn't find any this morning or today. Yesterday, I got one decent largemouth. I think it was like 19 something. And then today, I was just throwing a spinnerbait early in the morning and hooked into a 20-inch spot and like immediately took off. And I thought I had like a giant largemouth, but it dug me out of the boat, got him in. I kind of struggled after that today. couldn't get them on the jig like I did yesterday. Then I started scoping around. Eventually found some wolf packs just cruising around. But I stayed in the same area on both days.
So you had a submission like at the end of the day. How did that feel? Like you probably had 45 minutes left of fishing?
Yeah. I had like 3 coals like back to back to back, like right in the last probably like an hour and a half. Definitely thankful for those fish.
Yeah. Absolutely. You got anybody you want to thank for getting here? Are you
Thank
going
my
to fish
wife.
the championship?
Sure, yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely thank my wife. My wife, literally Thursday I was going to practice. She ended up getting appendicitis.
Oh, no.
I didn't get to practice, and then she told me, you better go, because she was feeling good this weekend. So I got to get back to her, take care of her. So
Yeah, we appreciate that. Appreciate you, Mrs. Willis. So you had 11 fish uploaded.
Mhm.
Is that what you caught, or did you?
No, I caught
Okay.
a bunch of fish.
All right, I got you. Now you took pictures of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you always do that because I got so many people that just get a fish DQ'd and they didn't take a picture of a 12-incher that cost them $3,000. So yeah, we appreciate you, and go home and take care of her, and we'll see you in March. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, in first place, taking home $2,025 to go along with a Carl Black of Kennesaw Angler of the Year award a couple of years ago. He had 95 3/4 on day 1 and 93 3/4 today, 189.5 inches, Tom Kazmierski. Yeah. Tom, we appreciate you coming out, man. We'll let you talk about your week, your practice, and then what it took to get you here today to win our championship.
Basically, since it's close to home, we've been coming up, I guess, every other Saturday or Sunday, just playing around, looking at different ramps, figuring out which ramps weren't open. Seemed like there was quite a few that closed for the season or whatever.
Yeah. Thank you, shutdown.
Yeah. I don't know if that's it. But came up Wednesday to the area that I fished this weekend and had like 97 inches and kind of felt good about what was going on there. It was how I like to fish. And then Friday I came up and fished actually 6 mile and had closer to 100 inches. And I was a little torn on which one I liked, but the way I was catching my fish, I basically fished a crankbait in the mornings until the sun got up good. And then I went to a minnow when the sun got above the trees and chased fish over 100 foot of water. It's not easy. I know a lot of guys were doing it and saying that they won't bite. They just follow, they do this. I was probably throwing it 200 plus fish a day to get, 10 or 15 bites out of them. But I ended up fishing up in the Flat Creek area just because I felt like I had more crankbait stuff up there that I liked better. And I was really worried about the minnow fish because you could catch 5 or you could catch 1 or 2. So the crankbait kind of gave me I felt like I was going to get a good limit every day on the crankbait. And then I was able to go focus and try to get better fish on the minnow later. And I kind of got blessed both days. The first day I caught a 20 1/4 on the crankbait, which was like a big weight off my shoulders. I was like, I think I can go catch a couple of 18s and make this happen. And then today I did the same thing. I caught a big one on the crankbait again and just kind of sets up the mood for the day and the momentum and everything in fishing. So,
yeah.
But that's pretty much how I went. Caught a ton of fish. I mean,
you uploaded 22. I mean, I can listen to everybody else. You probably caught 100.
Well, it was rough for today.
Yeah,
because the wind was basically coming straight up from the dam into where we were, and Scott was there with me. I mean, it was white capping, so
yeah.
it is not easy to scope in the waves. A lot of times, I just got blessed with good casts. Because you could focus on them for a split second and you better cast then because the boat was going to move. You couldn't keep the scope on them.
Well, and you mentioned like scoping. There's always a banter or carry on about that. So So how does it feel like when you actually don't scope and you lay into those kind of fish that are winning you the tournament? It feels it's a little giddy. It's a little different.
I'm old enough to where I came up fishing without it.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen the technology evolve. Everybody kind of gets their labels of how they fish and whatnot. I've always kind of claimed to be versatile. I love to fish knee deep, and I'm not scared of 100 foot of water. You know, the guy that taught me how to fish is an old Lanier guy, actually. And the first time I showed up here, I had bait casters, and we were fishing, 45, 50, 60 foot of water back in the 90s. And I was like, man, I don't know if I got enough line on my reel. And he's like, dude, it's only like 3 boat links. And I started thinking about it. I was like, that's really not that bad.
No.
But before that, I fished at Wise. So I literally fished ankle deep my whole life before that. And it was tough at first, but I mean, once he said that and I got away, the fish, they roam, they live all over. Scope obviously gives us the ability to track them down out there when they're roaming over the timber and stuff. But there's still, on this lake, there's a shallow bite every day, I think.
Right.
I mean, I caught a bunch of fish on a crankbait. It was a lot of fun.
Well, that's a lot of places in the country. Like I get to travel with what I do for a living, and there's always a shallow water bite. So to kind of subscribe to, if I don't have a scope, I can't compete, it's just not accurate anymore.
No.
And even a lake like Lanier, like we're coming here in December, I'm excited about it. And I mean,
you can still drag ditches here.
I have what I do. I have a strength, and it ain't scoping, and every now and again I'll get a few pennies. So Tom, we appreciate you coming.
Yeah,
you're a great representative for what we all get to do. You help everybody in the community. But hey, here's our champion, Tom Kazmierski, guys. Thank you so much. And don't run off so I can get pictures. I feel like a dad. I have to tell everybody, don't run off, because it happens every tournament. So yeah, but guys, we appreciate you. We appreciate Jason and the guys here at Hammond's Fishing Center for letting us meet here this weekend. Again, you see all of our sponsors. We got Real Heroes, Carl Black Chevrolet of Kennesaw, Dugout Bait and Tackle, Boondocks, Tourney X, Precision Hardwood. We just got a lot of people that put into this what it takes to have all this. So again, if you win something, don't run off. I'm going to do 5 at a time and take some prize pictures and everything. But you guys hashtagging is what keeps us prizes to give away. Other than that, we're just fishing for money and prestige. So you guys hashtagging, I don't care if you think you've only got 75 friends, somewhere along the way, it shows up. So we appreciate all of you for coming out this season. We had a great season. We'll catch up with y'all in December back here on Lake Lanier. Play outro.
What matters to you? Commitment, dedication, precision, connection. Catching fish? Good. That matters to us too.